Welcome back. Hi, Player Dart here, and we are going to continue playing the Ratline. This is going to be Chapter 6, Case 6, something. Hopefully, this won't quite be as gruesome as the previous one was. The Silent Partner. Well, yep, here we go. The Scorpion, the Sergeant, and the Missing Man. Alrighty, we have a single thing here. Mr. Perlman, our final South American target is the Scorpion, the Bolivian police captain and head of a tactical squad known as the Accione. They are known for ruthless political suppression. We also need the name of his sergeant, who is known to be a close confidant. We don't have a lot to give you, but have been informed that a photography business in one of the major towns in the Valle Plano area can help. Finally, we believe there is a missing man of interest. Please locate him as a matter of urgency. Best, L. Well, just somebody missing? That's not very specific. So, a photography business in one of the major towns in Valle Plano. So, let's go over to here and into the Rolodex and look up Valle Plano. Nope. Well, let's start looking. Let's try instead this. VP Municipal Placement Guide. Valle Plano. Okay. Municipal infrastructure. All infrastructure must meet the requirements of the cardinal zone in which it is to be installed. Ooh, do I know what any of this means? I don't. Llana, Elvina, Medio, Colina, Reflejo Azul, Moscas, Caballo Ruidoso, Tambo, Chaya, Rio de Dios, Bocillo, and of course Kiru. All famous Bolivian place names. And then we have this pair of flags and things at the bottom. All infrastructure must meet the requirements of the cardinal zone into which it is to be installed. Well, I mean, this is kind of split into 4 quarters. So that this side on the left has to do with this black flag, and this side on the right has to do with this yellow sign or flag. And top and bottom the same for these things, whatever they are. But I don't know what any of it is. But there's Valle Plano up there. Near Llana? Let's go back. Yeah, it's just that again. Okay. I'm going to close you down for a second. Let's go back into this and look up Llana and make sure. Yara linens, but not Llana anything. Nothing for Elvina. Bolivian police captain. Accione. Let's try that. Squad composition guide. I don't see anything here that marks it as Accione. All squad composition revised. All captains are assigned squads with 2 lieutenants, a sergeant, a corporal, and 2 privates. Tactical units wear tan. Normal police units wear blue. Due to a range of officers being targeted, please disregard all information below in figures 4.1. So these salutes mean nothing. We don't pay any attention to them. The soldiers shall use standard private regulation salutes. Soldiers continue to salute all ranks above their own. So I have to hope that these are in order: private, corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, and captain. The insignia, I think we can trust, but not anything else. Yeah, same again. Nothing on Scorpion. What else? In that, because what else we got? I mean, that's useful for something clearly someday, but not yet. Oh my god, how did I miss this? Wasn't that one of the names? There, Kiru. Good grief. Kiru Cameras and Photography. Gabriella speaking. Hello, Gabriella. My name is Perlman. I believe I'm supposed to contact you. Ah, yes. You're calling about the captain's son. The captain's son? Yes. You'll be wanting the photos. The photos. The ones that trace the journey. Stop. Let's just rewind for a moment. Oh, sorry. I thought you knew what you were calling about. How can I help? Who is the captain's son? The captain has a 15-year-old son named Hugo. He is a keen amateur photographer who visits our shop regularly. He bought a Minolta from us about a year ago and comes in every month or so to develop his photos. Is he close to his father? Very. He speaks of him with great admiration and clearly looks up to him. Any other interests? Like most boys his age, he loves football. He's also shown a real fascination with astronomy and was very excited about the Aurora Comet a few months back. Yes? We spoke at length about how to capture it in low light from his family home. He lives in the foothills where it can get quite foggy. So, what are these photos? Hugo usually takes pictures of trees and birds, but not long ago we came across a set of photos that were different. In what way? They seemed to show him spending the day with his father while the captain attended meetings. Some of what we saw struck us as highly relevant to the current situation. Which situation? Sorry, I'm still catching up. The stolen election, of course. Politicians disappearing, voting booths burned. So you made copies of those photos? We did. We can pass them on to you. Do you have any additional information about them? The photos contain a lot, but a couple of things stood out. First, we believe the entire batch was taken on a single day. Go on. It looks like they traveled through at least 2 of the 3 major towns, Tambo, Kiru, and Yama, as well as a few other locations. Any other details? Looking at the passage of the sun, it seems they traveled in a big loop. Understood. Thanks. Many thanks. Okay, that gets us started. So let's put that transcript away. Let's put the Rolodex away, and let's put this away. So... there's a yellow diamond sign. And this... So, is that the clue that it's like this and this? This is which corner we're in, which quadrant we're in? That's a weird thing to do. Frente Socialista. A man being carried by 2 regular police officers to visit one of the other police officers, one of the other kind. I forget what kind that wore tan. Everybody's very muddy in their cars. It's all very faded. And then we have these 3 that are saluting, but if we're right, we don't really care about how they're saluting. Okay. Aha! Okay, so they're already pinned, so I don't got to worry about that. Let's put the first one away. Let's put the phone away. Brisa de uva. 6239999. So we've got all kinds of people marching. An old woman saying someone has gone missing. RN 3790. No idea what any of that means. Other than allowing us to collect these symbols, I don't know what the point of all this is. So let's put that one away. And we have a wedding kind of thing. Or a baptism. Santo Cristo de something. Maybe who's saluting who will help us figure out the order of the symbols. We'll go over those again. Oh, wait a minute. That's the Viking. Who else wears a mint suit? And this is our dude over here, our author. But this isn't the same uniform. What does this picture have to do with anything else? And then the comet. And this shield and cross symbol while a town burns. And that's what we have. So looking at municipal infrastructure. Oh. Okay. And so the numbers, what kind of numbering system is on a telephone pole? Is also this. Or on a utility pole like that. So this has white numbers. Okay, let's take a look at, if I'm right, then we're using these pictures partially to figure out which symbol represents which rank. But we can ignore what kind of salute everybody's giving. So once more from the top with feeling, we've got captain, lieutenant, sergeant, corporal, and private. Those are the ranks in order. And the captain is a circular dot inside a square, and the private is an inward bending tall triangle thing. Okay, so in this picture, someone who's obviously a private and then someone with a square with a diagonal slash through it are saluting big circle, okay? Then here, we've got 3 horizontal bars, and the private is saluting him as well. So all that's left is to know where 3 horizontal bars belongs in the hierarchy. Okay. So that's unhelpful. 3 horizontal bars salutes the highest thing. That's great. Okay, back to the transcript. Hugo's spending the day with his father while the captain attended some meetings. All on one day, at least 2 of the 3 major towns. And they are Tambo, Kiru, and Jama. And this picture has nothing to do with anything. There are none of these military people in it. If we go to the previous things, yeah, that's definitely the same guy. But this is in Chile. That's where this house is. What is this picture doing in with the others? And there's nothing I can do to this. I can't, like, label it or anything. I have a hard time understanding the point of that picture. So this picture is happening up here. Because there's this alternating and these signs. And the yellow lines painted on the ground are this. So this picture from the car is in the northeast. Then this picture, these are different wine barrels. The symbol is different. The shield is different. But some of the stars are highlighted. It's like 8, 7, 3. Is this the missing person that we're interested in? Brisa de uva. Is that what this is? Wine festival poster. Local vineyards. There's Perdido Wines. I don't really see the other one. It's just an ordinary shield with a cross in it. I mean, it could be Cerro Oro, but you'd have to work hard at it, because that's more than a cross. Oh, it's this thing. Montefiores. It's not local, it's international. Montefiores. Montefiore watches? Oh, what the hey. Montefiore watches, this is Daniel Montefiore speaking. Good day, Daniel. My name is Saul Perlman. Perlman, forgive me asking, that is a Jewish name, yes? It is. I am Jewish. Sort of. Then we share that bond. My family too. You will understand. Names carry weight, especially in Europe. That's partly why I'm calling. I came across the name Montefiore in some old papers. It was mentioned in connection with vineyards. You are not mistaken. My mother's family once owned a vineyard in France. Montefiore Wines, outside Lyon. It was everything to them. What became of it? It was stolen. Stolen. Yes, by betrayal. But I will not get ahead of myself. Ask what you need to know, and I will answer. So, tell me about the vineyard. The Montefiore estate lay just outside Lyon. Rows upon rows of vines, a cellar older than the Revolution, and a label known in every cafe along the Rhone. Your mother's family owned it. Yes, she grew up among the barrels and presses. They had dreams of exporting, of building something lasting. What happened? The war. Everything changed after 1940. My grandfather joined the resistance. My grandmother struggled to keep the vines tended. Still, the land was theirs, by blood and by right. Then tell me about the betrayal. My father died when I was very young. It was my mother's second husband, a man named Moreau. When the occupation began, he made his choice quickly. What choice was that? To collaborate. He found favor with the new authorities, and in doing so he sold out my mother's family. The vineyard. Yes, he exposed them, signed papers, and within a month Montefiore Wines was no longer ours. Soldiers came, sealed the cellars, and carried off the stock. My family fled or were taken. How did you escape? I was already taken in by relatives in England. After the war, I returned to restore the family name. Thank you, Daniel. That's all I have for now. Of course. Time keeps its stories. Okay? This is a lot harder. There's a lot less to go on. But now, is this not the person who's missing? I mean, if we look at the march, is that him? Is that the guy who's missing? So now looking at this is where we got this from. So if Mr. Dude has been picked up by the local police, which is what it said blue meant here, then wouldn't we expect him to still be at this location? This location that has yellow signs and these things this way? So that's going to be in Tambo? I mean, it's a place that's large enough to have a football stadium. So, yeah, let's just say that that's where he is. We don't know who he is. Tambo. There we go. Let's say that that's where he is. He's been detained by the police and he's still there. So, I mean, that's some small measure of progress. The tiniest bit of progress. As for whatever else, I mean, if I work this hard enough, maybe I could figure out which insignia represents Sergeant, and then I could work out who is what. Let me go over this again. They're calling about the captain's son, the photos that trace the journey. Like most boys his age, he loves football, hence this picture. He's shown a fascination with astronomy, hence this picture. The Aurora Comet a few months back, which presumably that was. I mean, we haven't looked at that. Is there anything about the Aurora Comet here? Star map. Pin that up. Let's have a look at it. Well, okay. So we see this triangular constellation. I remember that from this picture. Let's make you a little larger. Let's move you over to the side. Okay, you can sit down if you're going to be in the way all the time. Okay, so this is the teapot upside down. Because there's that little triangle thing. There's maybe. So that's that. Then this, I guess, is this, but it's in a weird orientation. It's not the right way around. I mean, it's basically flip left, right. And there's the triangle one. So we're looking southwest. This picture is being taken southwest. Which, amazing! What does this do for us? Okay, I think back to the transcript. He lives in the foothills where it can get quite foggy. Oh! So this is the captain's house. But looking at the passage of the sun, they traveled in one gigantic loop. Not that we can see much about the passage of the sun in these pictures. Because, I hate to break it to you, but no one is casting a shadow in this picture. No one is, well, I mean, that's casting a shadow. The people sort of are, but I mean, that makes this noon. Likewise, and again, likewise. The shadows are all straight down, so how were all of these photos taken at noon? I mean, this is the soccer stadium. We had a thing with the soccer stadium before. No, it's over here. Oh, get out of my way. Shoot. What was the name of it? I suppose I could just go and find the thing. Shoot, what was the... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's this. Frente Socialista. Sure. What are you? I don't know what you are. El Frente Socialista campaign headquarters. The struggle never sleeps. Hello, my name is Perlman. I'm conducting some investigations in the area. Who am I speaking with? Depends on who's asking. I'm looking into a few persons of interest. A captain, a sergeant, and a missing man. Then you've come to the right place. My name is Rosa. Ask what you want. Well, Rosa, where have you been all my life? Tell me about the captain. The Scorpion. The Scorpion? A man who poisons everything he touches. His hobby is misery, his talent is cruelty, and his only legacy will be a shallow grave. If there is justice, he'll end up stung by his own tail. Okay, but who is he? Tell me about the sergeant. Ah, the sergeant, a pig in the polished boots, vain, lazy, and for sale to the highest bidder. Expensive tastes? Oh yes, tag watches, champagne, imported cars. He parades around in his green Ford Falcon like a king, although lately I haven't seen it much in Yana. He sounds like a man of taste. Taste? Please, he'd drink bleach if you paid him enough. Why are people so interested in him? Probably because if the Scorpion falls, this sergeant might take his place. And unlike the captain, he's not hard to buy. A dictatorship on credit? That's his idea of government. What about the missing man? Which one? Around here, the Earth eats people daily. Unfortunately, I don't know his name. Then I'll give it to you. Councillor Eduardo. He was our candidate. He vanished a week before the election and hasn't been seen since. You've been searching for him? Of course. Even his poor mother is out on the streets handing out flyers. Can you imagine? A woman advertising her own missing son like a lost dog. Do you know why he vanished? Because he threatened to expose the Scorpion's corruption. He lit a match in a room full of gasoline, and then he disappeared in the smoke. That's all for now. Thank you, Rosa. Be careful, Perlman. Here, questions have sharp teeth, and they'll bite you before the answers do. Well, that's what we needed. Okay. Green Ford Falcon, eh? And Councillor Eduardo, so hopefully we'd be able to figure out more about that. I'm assuming Eduardo is his first name? I don't know why Rosa wouldn't tell us his full name. That'd be too easy. Nope. Eduardo. Of course not. Sao Paulo Motors. Oh, what is this? Internal memo. These owners need to be reached immediately for coolant system replacement. In all cases, have been able to drive their cars no more than very short distances from their homes before the vehicles start overheating. A Falcon in Bolivia, C13 4FG, Abel Oliva. C13 4FG. That is that number plate. So this is Sao Paulo Motors. Oh, but he's in Bolivia. It would have to be not that far from Jana. Okay. Abel Oliva. That's our sergeant. Abel? Oliva. Is Mr. Dot him? Okay, so do we have a picture of the captain someplace? Only from behind. But we don't have anybody from the front. But that tells us that this is Eduardo. That's the confirmation that, no, that really is something. Yeah, we only have the picture from behind. I failed to see the point behind this picture, other than they visited this place. They went to Perdido. So if we're fairly certain they went to Tambo and they went to Perdido to visit the other guy, which might explain why the answer changed. Because I had a conversation with Tim about that answer. It's like, no, you really need to allow that other answer. And it's the one answer that I had to resolve when I was reconstructing my game. Well, now, this picture has a mountain in the background. But the only, well, actually, we don't know that it's an individual mountain. It could be a mountain range. In fact, it almost certainly is. Santo Cristo de somewhere. Santo Cristo de Moscas is the place that's up around the mountains. It's the only place name that would be. But that's really, really loose. Okay. We can also sort of fill in that we think that his first name is Eduardo. Woo, hi. Oh, that's what that's doing. When I hold down the shift, I get to zoom in. And of course, because I'm... What? Eduardo is not a first name. Is it a surname? Oh, look at that. I mean, his first name is not Counselor. Thank you. That would just be ridiculous. Okay, so he's somebody Eduardo. Is he home? Is he in Yana? Although he hasn't seen the car in Yana recently. But I'll fill it in for now. Would the captain and his sergeant live in vastly different places? I'm going to put Yana in here as woo, hi. Why not? That is absolutely a guess. I find it unbelievable that we can have the name of a major politician who's gone missing and there's nothing about him in the newspaper. But I can find out about like records from whose cars needs servicing. So this is the captain's house. Okay, this picture is being shot to the southwest with enough distance that, I mean, the buildings are small. If that is a town, maybe he's not in the major city. If this is where the captain lives, because this is where the captain's son lives, this picture is to the southwest, which means the captain lives to the northeast of a town. Unfortunately, there's nothing like that here. Unless it's Medio. But, I mean, how would you say... Those are the two things that are, like, within possible eyeshot of each other, and they're in a southwest-northeast relationship with each other. Let's look over this again. Moreau. Wait a minute. Is it Moreau, then? Is that the name of the captain? Soldiers came, sealed the cellars, carried off the stock. Oh, the lead soldier is this guy. I mean, the only thing that we haven't really done is we haven't taken a good solid look at any of the previous cases. That's the one thing that hasn't happened, is we haven't reached back to anything. Not that I can imagine what we would reach back to. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Let's pin that for a second. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait! Ah! Okay. Oh my god. This, okay. This was the thing that... I feel stupid. Okay. Okay. So... Da-da-da-da-da. He paused our tour to conduct a brief, purposeful conversation with a serious-looking man who is tailed by his melancholic son. This is the captain. He looked at me with a glint in his eye. I believe that my friend Patrice is sending a guest my way this evening, a certain Jorge. I am meant to show him true Chilean hospitality. So is it Jorge Eduardo? My friend Patrice. Patrice Moreau? Oh, I don't know. Okay. He was, in truth, very sad. He had just been to the funeral of a dear friend earlier that day. David was a brilliant artist. We go back years, fell in love with a girl once, a champion skier who married a terrible man, never got over it. It was a beautiful service, a tiny church with its back to the mountains, wonderful. Okay. Purposeful conversation with a serious-looking man who is tailed by his melancholic son. That has to be the captain. That's Hugo. Oh, okay. So, the author asked the Viking what it was about. I believe that my friend Patrice is sending a guest my way this evening, a certain Jorge. So then, this is Jorge. And my friend Patrice is going to... Patrice Moreau, a French name. So then if he wasn't seen in Tambo, then he was delivered into Perdido and taken care of. But that means maybe... Is that the captain? Is that the Scorpion? If we look at the surveillance photos... Yeah, that's not him. That's a different person. Pin it. Is this person the captain? So if I try doing this, I'm fairly confident that all the names are right. I'm fairly confident of the portraits, and I'm fairly confident that this is where he went. So these two might be wrong. Okay, which is what I expected. It means that these cities are wrong. I'm fairly certain that's that. That's what the problem there is. So how do we figure... Oh, man, I mean, Patrice Moreau... We have a picture of his freaking house, if only I could figure out where this is a picture of. Okay. He lives in Yana, according to Rosa. I'm going to put that back. That might not be where he is, but that's where he can be found. I would think. But the Scorpion apparently lives somewhere else. Oh, I'm really close. This is annoying. The real question is, what is the rest of this, like figuring out where this picture was taken? What is that supposed to do for me? Why do I care about these things if no one is here? Grr. Okay. But it has to be a place name on here, right? Okay. Let's say that this is northeast of Medio. Medio is the place that's burning. Let's try Elvinia. If I can. Vinia? Elvinia. That's inconvenient, but I can't get that any other way. Okay. Nope. Incorrect. He had just been to the funeral of a dear friend earlier that day. David was a brilliant artist. We go back years. Fell in love with a girl once. A champion skier who married a terrible man. This is too detailed. This has to do with another case, certainly. A tiny church with its back to the mountains. That's this. But. Why does it matter? The Viking had been to the funeral, so that's not like these other photos that Hugo took. Like, this isn't a funeral procession. Oh. Wait a minute. What was the name of that? Santo Cristo de something. Wasn't that just there? Santo Cristo Church. Oh, God. I keep missing things in this stupid Rolodex. Parish of Santo Cristo de Valleplano. Father Alonso speaking. Good day, Father. My name is Perlman. Peace be with you, Perlman. How may I help? I'm looking into a few matters. The church and a certain captain. I can speak to public pastoral matters, but you'll understand I cannot discuss anything from confession. Of course. Then ask what you need. Tell me about your church. Santo Cristo del Valle is the oldest parish in Kiru. The nave dates to 1886. The bell was recast after the Great Storm of 42. We are unique in that our doors face south rather than east. Why is that? An egocentric bishop. A busy parish? Very. We serve families from Tambo, Kiru, and Jana, and travelers from Colina and Reflejo Azul when markets are on. We host youth catechism on Wednesdays and the soup kitchen each Friday. Any recent trouble? Only the usual. Leaky roof, too few hands. I would help if I could, Father. I am sure. Now, what about the captain? I can only speak to what is public. The captain attends Mass irregularly, most often at sundown. He sits near the north aisle beneath St. Michael. Any family? He has a boy, Hugo. Courteous, camera over the shoulder. They brought offerings on St. Joseph's feast. Temperament? Formal. Careful with words. I believe he tries to hide it, but I have detected notes of a French accent. Not German. No. I spent some time in a seminary in Normandy, so I know the difference. And your view of him, Father? A priest should be a shepherd to all. Still, I would be remiss if I pretended not to see where certain roads lead. There are banners I will not bless, And Boots, I will not hear marching in our nave. I see. Between us, outside confession, I found a slip of paper wedged behind the St. Michael votive stand on the day of his great-nephew's christening last month. The hand is his. I copied it for safekeeping. You kept it? I kept a copy. The original was returned where I found it, so no one need be accused of theft. If it may serve the truth, I can pass you the copy discreetly. I would very much like that copy. Thank you, Father. That's all for now. Go in peace. Well, really. Okay. So, yeah, here's the thing. Sante Cristo. That's health. Okay, so we got two things here. First, christenings in the town of Kiru. Martin Alvarez, Nicolas Ferreira, Juan Cruz Benitez, Santiago Moretti, Federico Ledesma, Tomas Ibarra, Emiliano Rojas, Andres Palacios, funerals, David Richmond. So I guess that's going to come up later. David Richmond is an artist. Okay. So let's kill that. Then this. Tell Sergeant to arrange for transport of suspect. Inform Bureau of Detainment and Questioning. Meet with KH. That's Casper Hansen. To arrange personnel hire and flammable materials. Personally assess suspect Jorge Eduardo. Send him to location agreed with Casper Hansen. Okay. So if we weren't certain that that was his fate, now we have something on him. Okay. So the Viking was part of burning the town. So we know the entrance to this faces south, which means this mountain range or this mountain is north of the church and somewhat west. And it's supposed to be in Kiru, which would make sense. So then this is Kiru. And I keep wanting to capitalize words I don't need to capitalize. Okay. Let's try it. Still something wrong. So, the church is in Kiru. Let's take a look at this. We get travelers from Colina and Reflejo Azul. We serve families from all the large cities. So it could be Colina, it could be Reflejo Azul. Let's take a look at where those are. Neither of those... Well, I mean... if that is Medio burning, and I don't know why I keep picking on this town. If that is Medio that's burning, then Colina would see it to the south, or the northwest. That's not right. It needs to be southwest. That is southwest. And we're not able to make out anything about that town. It has no obvious landmarks, no whatevers. But there's no mountains, no visible rivers, nothing. No lake, so it's not this. It could be that, except we tried Elvina. Moscas? I mean, that's awfully far. Same thing for Chaya and Kiru. Of course, we don't know how far apart these things are. There's no scale on this map, although, like mountains, those are mountains. If that was Chaya looking that way, would you see mountains off to the side? You would, but they'd be behind the house. So maybe you wouldn't see them. Is it Chaya? Oh, I'll try anything once. Chaya. And again, I'm still capitalizing things. Try that. No. Okay. So maybe that's not the only issue. Maybe there's also something wrong with this. Like, we've identified where he lives, but maybe that's not where he is? I mean, this is Tombo. It has to be. Is that it? Did he not get any farther than Tombo? And he's just still there waiting for his car to get repaired, and that's where to find it. Oh, that's dumb! That is so dumb. Okay. Okay. To whom it may concern, I've identified the Scorpion as well as his sergeant and the missing man. The Scorpion is a Frenchman named Patrice Moreau. He was responsible for seizing the Jewish Montefiore vineyard during the war, which he continues to... I'm hoping that's not where that word belongs. Which he continues to profit from. He lives in the foothills of the mountains of Chaya. His sergeant is Abel Oliva, a British officer with a taste for luxury. He owns a Ford Falcon with this license plate, and no, he does not live in Tombo. It's... all right. Finally, the missing man is Jorge Eduardo. He is the local candidate for Frente Socialista and was arrested during a local election crackdown, culminating in the burning of voting booths in the major town of Kiru, Tombo, and Yama. He is currently held at the Vikings vineyard in Perdido. His current condition is unknown, although he may not be doing all right. Oh, okay. But what? Does he live in Tombo when Rosa said I haven't seen him in Yana recently? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to call it a day or whatever and see if this just goes directly into another... Oh! Hello, Darkness, my old friend. I found the 3 chiefs, the Cobra, the Hyena, and the Scorpion. Was it hard, Mr. Perlman? I've had harder matzo balls in my soup, so I'll be getting my reward. Flowers, a plaque perhaps. Unfortunately, your only reward will be anonymous satisfaction. You're arresting these people, though. I don't see anything in the papers. We will, in time. They serve other purposes, though. Like what? That is beyond your jurisdiction. Okay, I've been thinking. We're done here. I'm done. You only have a little further to go. This is the most important thing. We need you to go deep into the Hoffman network. Why is that important? The Hoffmans are involved in more than just making money and people smuggling. They have designs on the highest levels of power. How so? There was a journalist seeking to expose the Hoffman conspiracy. His name was Rainier Wilson. He was killed 3 days ago. You want me to find out who killed him? Precisely. The Hoffmans have shares in a company called Red Rock Oil. There's a bill going through the Texas Senate that promises to bring them untold riches if it goes through. What's the problem here? The bill is being blocked by some rebel politicians. One of them was found dead, apparently suicide. You suspect otherwise? We suspect foul play. All of this leads back to the Hoffmans. Finally, we believe that some of these fugitives have been supported by global actors beyond the Hoffmans. For real? Beyond numerous South American governments and the Catholic Church? Yes. Finally, there is the matter of who killed Bishop Tura. Hang on. I thought you did. We did not say that. We said that we encountered him on the night he died. The murder had already taken place. The killer is at large. Oh boy. Sleep well, Mr. Perlman. You are the one who can make the difference. And that sets us up for the last 3. So case number 7, the conversation, will happen next time. So we're going to go to the main menu, and we are going to sign off. So that was case number 6 of the Ratline. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. Please leave a comment to let me know what you think of what I'm doing. Please click like and subscribe so that my work gets seen by other people. And we will continue cycling through these games. So this is only going to last for 3 more. And hopefully I don't get quite so frustrated by all of it. But I'm still enjoying it. I mean, the puzzles are still really clever in what it is they're having you do. It's just, it would be nice if I didn't have to read all 26 pages of the Rolodex and hope that I find something. That's kind of annoying. Like, that would not, why would my Rolodex have these things? I wouldn't be looking in some sort of world phone book for these things. Surely there was a better way to do that. But anyway. Then we have Potion Craft coming up after this. Then Blueprints, where we've been making steady headway. We need to find all of those blue rooms on row 8, rank 8, to get those notes, get that going. That'll happen in time. And then we are back to Lingo, where I'm going to have to buckle down and get some of those larger maps off my plate eventually. So I will see you in the next video. I've been Player Dart. Have a marvelous day, and goodbye.